Hi people, Exorcist, the beginning. At the start we see some priests walking amongst what looks like deads of a field. And I really like the religious iconography of this screen. You totally feel the abandoned lone figure asking, why? Then the screen shows all the work of what we know is Pazuzu, then opens up and shows the demon as it has powers like Sauron. Because that's the mythical level exaggerated dead and dying people. After the title card, Marin is hired to be a tomb raider at an impossible archaeological fund. They are looting for the Pazuzu statue. We all know at this point from the franchise it is the Pazuzu statue. The movie pulls a good one, implying that even just a depiction of the thing makes babies cry and stuff. We also get an active priest. Marin is currently civil only, from whom we learn not even the Vatican knows, well allegedly, who built the temple that far. Arriving through the cemetery definitely creates atmosphere by implication, although there is no direct connection to demon activity, but strange illnesses talk about the site being cursed, and other minor things definitely builds up the tension. I love how all this is expressed in the leader of the local workers being the only one willing to accompany Mary to the place through its roof, but does not step out from the space lighted by the sunlight. For the effects, the location is excellent, the set and people look authentic. It's not like so Latino, and it's very cheap and obviously modern clothing. The CGI hyenas are a bit cartoonish, but what can you do? Hyenas can be trained, and this live-action Lion King is nowhere, so the technology is acceptable. There is also a love affair going on between Marin and the crew's medic, the local Bill Nye science. Well, you know what I mean, this is a lady. For this part, I never really cared for the upside down Jesus. Though the film trying to be edgy for those Christians in the audience, don't misunderstand me, I absolutely can identify with Marin's character who is investigating a phenomena, and sure, he finds its reason in religious faith, but that's a given considering. But an upside down cross, okay, it's not Peter on the cross, so desecration seems the obvious answer, but what if, just what if, it is not desecration, but guidance? A big arrow pointing down to where you should go, or at least pay attention to. I can be sure, and I don't think anyone asked the crew, not that the answer would matter that much, but it is possible. It also works with the Forgotten Temple symbolism, not praising heaven, but guarding hell. Topping Jesus in an insane mind can mean turning his attention that way. So it's a prayer? Now this alone makes me declare an age rating on this flick. By the way, this Maggot Baby appears in Dominion 2, but there it is just a forgettable random shot, so style matters and you get bonus points for it. For the first half of the movie, nothing much is happening aside visiting all the possible sources to get information, but I love the small things here, showing the demon is infiltrating everything, in contrast of the previous movies where it went screaming and vomiting and fuck me Jesus from 0 to 100. By the way, we do get an exorcism, but it is done by the African tribe. I guess we found the culprit why this movie was not well received by the believers. As for the second half, things escalate quickly, and I do mean things happen. There is the exorcism, people start hallucinating, the usual paranormal activity happens, natural disaster strikes, everything that means action. One small complaint that puzzles you here is the Lord of the Flies, but that's Beelzebub. Either way, the action does not stop. We even get a big fight between the imperialist Brits and the African tribe. It's not exactly the Evox fighting the Empire, but, it's good. Another thing I can see why Christians did not like this is because Mr. Vatican insists this is Lucifer, while we all know it is Pazuzu, the locust demon. And while I give you that the twist that it was Science Lady all along makes zero sense, even though it fits the Christian narrative, that they managed to make the Pazuzu face very similar to Reagan's Pazuzu form. It's very uncanny, and I love that. That this being has its own identity, and it isn't just some big distortion and cuts on the face. It transforms its victim to its true self. In the end, the story transforms Marin's journey not to be an Obi-Wan figure, embodiment of the sacred organization, but albeit holy warrior with some flaws, but after all considered, just a guy who has a personal vendetta, let's say crusade against the demon. What makes the whole franchise kind of personal and kind of hurts Marin's overarching character. So yeah, that's a bit of a negative, but if you were trying to scale it down from a war scale, just this one guy is fighting and conquering Satan, what is a little bit too much, and I would leave it to Omega Code 2. It's kind of a good ending after all, and the whole movie is just a good movie. So I recommend it. It's a good story. There is things happening in the film, and it does not want to shovel theology down your throat. So, yeah,